Welcome back. You might see this a different format than what we usually do for our HubSpot updates. Well, are you asking why? It's because the last two updates, I've spent 14 minutes on a screen going through every single update, and it was time to change. A better format, I think, for us to go through is to really just step through some of the key updates I think you guys need to know about on the HubSpot platform, rather than go through every single one and just literally, I think after those shoots that we do, I think I end up shooting it for probably a good solid hour and a half, and then that's with all the edits taken out, etc. So I'm very lucky to be joined with Bree, who's our community manager here at Neighborhood, over there.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about, I guess, the HubSpot updates. Unscripted, pretty much raw as you see, and we'll tell you from our experience the ones that we dig, the ones that we probably don't necessarily vibe too much on. But second to that as well, I think ones that you should try if you've got it in your portal, and how to do it as well. So to get things kicked off, let's kick off with the January updates 2024 for HubSpot. Let's get going. Don't forget to subscribe and all that sort of stuff as well. All right, to kick things off, we are going to start with marketing. Now, I know that the workflows one is one that you probably, I'll get you to talk about this one because you're probably in there more than me day to day. So now you're able to save and reuse workflow actions. You want to go through that a little bit more detail?
Yeah, for sure. So usually when you're creating a workflow or something like that, you sometimes recreate things over and over again. So now they've created an option where you can basically create an action set or a template that you can reuse over and over again. Oh, God. That was noisy.
That's right.
So I think this is going to really speed up time, I guess, time used to create those workflows every single time as well.
Yeah.
And also making sure you remember the bits and bobs you did to do certain, maybe I can see myself using it for more complex ones.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't use it for a basic one where I'm just creating one or two actions.
Yeah.
But when it comes to maybe location branches or something where you're, doing it over and over again.
Specific, maybe potentially in sales ops, going through and those allocations.
Yeah, for sure.
And creating specific ones for those territories or areas or anything like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think that's a good one. So that'll be kind of like templated essentially, so you can select the template as you go through. The next one I kind of want to get kicked through, and again, this is probably pretty generic. Internally here at Neighborhood, and probably you can attest to it as well, is that we're using the collaboration sidebar more and more within HubSpot to, I guess, so the minimization of using Slack or any of those tools, ClickUp, any of those, communication methods have minimized substantially, but I think as well the collaboration sidebar is I'm able to exactly pinpoint what I'm talking about. A good use case, I think we've got a new HubSpot email offering that goes out. Bree and I were going back and forth a number of times, but that collaboration sidebar made it contextual to what I was talking about. I was clicking on that and I was like, hey, that thing there.
Yeah, and another thing on my side, when I got your feedback, I could tick them off as I went, so I could make sure I wasn't missing anything. Yeah. So it's not just, commenting, but also being able to tick that off and be like, I've nailed that as well. So. Well,
this is coming to social. So it is now available on social. I'm unaware if it's everywhere just yet. I feel like it's pretty much in its later stages of being everywhere in regards to collaboration, commenting and communication, but it is now available on social, which is really good. I will state as well, while you have subscribed and liked this video and left a comment and told me where in the world you are, I will say that we will have this deck that will have the full 82 items that have been improved available for download. If you want to get that download, it will be in the description below. We'll also put it in the comments as well. So if you just want to find out not only in detail what we've spoken about, but also get a complete list of what we've spoken about and more, you can hit the link in the description to get that one as well, just after you liked and subscribed. So the next one we'll move into is sales and service. So the first and foremost is the AI assistance for the call summaries. So I think been long overdue. There's definitely a whole lot of other platforms and systems that have used this and using the AI tools to go ahead and summarize. For me, and also for sales managers, CSMs, anything of that matter that do have their staff working in teams that are working on calls, this summary is really going to help summarize what the call was about to get context in regards to what was discussed and what was the outcomes. I think this just helps. I don't think it's removing any jobs, but I think it definitely helps these CSMs, sales managers or directors or managers in any aspect to be able to get context into these calls without having to dig into the transcript, have a meeting with the staff member and get some access. So I think this is a really beneficial one. Again, it's just the addition of the AI tools that they brought out at Inbound last year in Boston too, which is good. The next one and the last one as well, and I think this is something, having used the meetings tool since Sales Hub came out originally back in the day, I don't know why this hasn't been around. Not only can we add guests to meeting links now, which is not even in this update, but I just want to mention that. The next one is the ability to customize the reminder emails that are actually going out to the people, and you can set the time period to be an hour or 2 or a day or whatever that might be. We can use personalization tokens in this as well. So the personalization tokens, we can bring data that's already in our CRM to help give context. I'm a big believer that if the prospect in a sales aspect or service, whatever way we're using the meetings tools, is more informed, they have a very clear idea of what is going to be run through in this meeting and what specific information has been collected, it will help for that meeting to go better and more effectively in the long run. So for me, I think brand and tone of voice is really important. So we can now customize it rather than just having like a rich text
generic
format that it was last time.
Yep.
And we can bring in specific things where, whether we've collected, if we're in an exploratory call and we're in the final stages, we can then collect all this information of what we've gathered to help them understand what we know, to bridge any gaps as well. But I think most importantly, I think it just allows us to be a bit more creative. Okay, so for this one, it is available to Starter, Pro, Enterprise. Now it is in a public beta. So cut to quickly. If you are unaware of where to find all of these juicy new things and you just want to turn all the lights on at once, if you go up to the very top, you should have the company name, click on that, and there's product updates. Now they've recently done a bit of a rejig on every month they rejig everything, but if you go to product updates, you'll notice that there's an area there that you can kind of see. On the left-hand side, and we'll put a little screen share up for you. If you click on the betas, you'll be able to sort of see what betas are available, which ones that you're enrolled in and which ones that you're not, and you can go and enroll in that one. If you enroll in it and just refresh your page and then jump into the meeting links and edit, and then you can update existing ones as well, and you can bring in personalization tokens. There's one that I'd like to call out for Ops Hub is the AI reports. So generating reports with AI, I think, was spoken about at Inbound when I was there in September. And that one for me was super interesting, mainly because, and this is just a personal preference, I hate reports. And it's not that I hate reports, I just hate building them. They can be complex and there's a myriad of different objects and properties, and it can be very, very confusing, and I think it definitely goes into the too hard basket and I get someone else to do it for me.
I think building reports for someone who's not used to building reports can be very overwhelming.
Hello.
In terms
That's
of
me.
terms of not knowing where to start, at least. Even if you're pretty good at filtering it down, this could be really useful for just getting that starting point as well. So I think it's going to be super helpful, honestly. I'm interested. I'd like to try it. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I'm yet to play with it. I'm interested to see if it can do the level of detail that I require.
Yep.
If it's not going to do it now, I have full faith in HubSpot that it will get to that point, that it will be able to do some pretty crazy reporting aspects. I expect in a public beta, remember being in beta, it's not going to be perfect. And usually the product managers at HubSpot will definitely reach out and say, hey, can you give us some feedback? The more feedback you can give those guys, the better, because they'll round that product out and make it even better. So that is now in public beta, so you can enroll your account for Pro and Enterprise Operations Hub only. Okay, moving into the CRM, which is our last segment. Just a reminder, after you've subscribed and hit the bell, etc., all that sort of jazz, if there's any questions or comments, we're fairly active with the comments below. So if there is any comments on how we would use it or specific use cases, make sure you throw it in down below as well. We get a whole bunch of questions every single month as well from all people from across the globe. So if you've got a question and you don't want to wait for support to get back to you, we get back to you usually within 24 hours, which is great. All right, associate records of the same object type. One that I think everybody in the whole entire globe has been waiting for a very long time. I think associating deals with deals, contacts with contacts. We've had so many scenarios in which we've got, partners.
Yeah, parent-child
relationships for, early education. There's been aged care facilities that we've had where we've had, the husband and the wife potentially, but the daughter is the decision maker helping in that. So that really helped bridge that gap, which has been fantastic. There's so many use cases that I don't even know where to start, but to be able to associate the records of the same object type, I think for me is just going to make things a whole lot easier across the board in regards to understanding how they work. And the next one I think that I've mentioned, and I mentioned it before as well, is that adding guests to meetings via the scheduling pages. So you can now add up to 10 people to a meeting. How many times I've been asked, can you please add all of these people to the meeting invite? It got to a point where I just got conditioned to be okay with it, but now they can do it, which is fantastic. So adding them, they'll get added to it. It's a blessing because it just, I guess for me, it just removes that friction in regards to being able to sort of do business with people as well. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome.
So the next one I wanted to go through was the view, share, delete, and recall quotes on mobile app, iOS and Android. If you haven't used the app or used the app in the last 6 months, I highly recommend you download it and start using it, or just check it out. The functionality has gone from strength to strength. In marketing and in sales. On and go salesperson, I guess, in the past, from a quote standpoint, I had a bit of friction in regards to getting the links and sharing and things like that. This will open up that for you to sort of get visibility and utilize the quotes feature a little bit more better. While on the topic of the app, actually, like if you're in a marketing seat, you should check out the marketing tools. You can now go through and look at all the marketing emails, the statistics, the social. Like, it's actually wild what's happened through. Yeah,
I remember a couple of years ago downloading it and being like, nope, deleting it straight away. And then you told me to download it. I was shocked how far it's come.
Really good.
Yeah.
And I guess with the calling tools that have come to the app for the salespeople too, you can now call through it, and where they took that away a little while ago, but you can now. So that's another one that I think that we should be kept aware of anyway. Another huge one, I know I'm probably saying huge quite a lot here as well, but the conditional property options for me is just magic. It's so magic, it's so good. This is available globally, rolled out. It's now live. Pro and Enterprise can now use it as well. Now, what we had in the past is that if, I guess sometimes when you select, say, a drop down and you select a certain thing, you want to go through and you want to have the ability to update another. So you've kind of got a 2-level property, you need to update those properties. Again, it's just minimizing the friction from the day-to-day use on the data and making sure the data entry is there from day to day. I think this is going to be huge. I know, weirdly enough, we had one of our clients ask us to do this a month before it came out, and we kind of built it out, but then this came out and it just helps them in regards to that data entry.
Yeah, I think also that left-hand side on a record can get full of properties, so it also decreases your brain power when you're trying to process all of this.
Just showing what
and
you need to show.
And you know your next step, exactly,
So that property will show up only if that certain condition is met. So kind of to what you're saying, Bree, is that you can probably try and minimize the amount of properties on that left-hand side bar rather than having them all viewable, because you're going to have to do that. It's going to improve reporting. It's going to improve data integrity. I really like this, and I think it's something that everyone should get around. Pro and Enterprise, and it's now live global, so you don't need to enable it in any way, shape, or form. All right, so that wraps up, I guess, our January update. A little bit late, I guess, on coming to you guys with this new format, etc. Hopefully, it is a more digestible format that's, I guess, a little bit more conversational. Opens up what our comments and thoughts are on it, having used HubSpot for such a long time. I would love your feedback below. Feel free to get in touch with us here at Neighbourhood or leave the comments below. But that wraps us up. Again, if you want a copy of all of the updates, 82 pages of that juicy goodness, it's in the description below after you comment and subscribe. But thank you so much. Thanks, Bree.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in the next couple of weeks just with their new updates. We'll polish what we've got here a little bit better. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks' time with another 82 pages of updates. Thank you. See you guys. Happy HubSpotting.
Bye.